Right, so hello and welcome back to Books and Things. Now today is a very exciting day because today is my 1 year anniversary on Booktubes. On this day last year I uploaded my first rather awkward video to YouTube. So I filmed a really long rambly video about why I love Booktube and why I am happy that I've been here a year, and then it just didn't quite work because I didn't really know how to explain why I really like Booktube. So then I had a new idea and I thought instead of telling you why I really like Booktube I would just show you and do a series of little shout out videos talking about some of the Booktubers I really love. I was watching Booktube for about 6 months to a year before I started making Booktube videos, but a lot of my favourite Booktubers I have only discovered in the last year while I have been on Booktube. I would say I was subscribed to about 20 Booktubers before I started watching Booktube, and now I'm subscribed to well over 100. But what I thought I would do over the next few weeks is have a little month of shoutouts, and each Monday in June there will be a video which is just Booktuber shoutouts. So rather than talking about like 20 wonderful people in one go, I will talk about 5 or 6. And what I wanted to do is, rather than just talk about Booktubers I love, though of course that is what I've been doing, I also wanted to talk about Booktubers that I think you will love. So Booktubers I think people who watch my channel will enjoy and you might not necessarily have found. Some of them you probably will, but maybe not all of them. So what I thought I would do is split it into sections. So the main thing is I talk about on Books and Things is classics and literary fiction, because that is mostly what I read. So today I'm going to talk about my 5 favourite people on Booktube. We talk a lot about Victorian literature. Next time I'm going to talk about my favourite Booktubers who talk about classics that aren't Victorian, and then the week after I will talk about people who I think are really good at talking about literary fiction. Anyway, that's been a very long introduction, so let's start. So, Booktubers who enjoy Victorian literature. All of these people that I'm about to talk about I have discovered in the last year since I have been making Booktube videos. I didn't know about their channels before. Most of them, in fact, possibly all but one of them I have discovered in the last 6 months. Several of them I've only discovered in the last like 3 or 4 months, so I feel like there are more people talking about Victorian literature on Booktube than I realised for quite a while, and it was very, very exciting when I discovered these people. So first I want to mention the brilliant Kate Howe. She has such a wonderful channel. I really enjoy watching her videos. I think they're always really interesting and she has quite a lot of diverse content. I'm putting her in my Victorian Booktubers video, but she does talk about a lot of other things, including mysteries and chick lit. She is very good on Victorian literature. She really likes Dickens, wants to work her way through him, which I of course approve of. She also enjoys the Brontes and she loves Elizabeth Gaskell. One of her favourite novels is Wives and Daughters, which I heartily approve of because I love that Gaskell novel and I think it's really underrated. I don't like it quite as much as North and South, but I still think it deserves more attention in comparison to North and South than it gets. I think Kate Howe's channel is so good. I discovered her soon after she started her channel because she was leaving such interesting comments on my videos. I was like, I must go and see if you have a channel because you like Victorian literature, and I was so excited that she did. I think she is really wonderful, and as I said, I always enjoy her videos. Next I want to mention Melissa from the Bookish Babbler. Like Kate Howe, Alicia has very, very wide tastes in reading, and she does read a lot of other things apart from Victorian literature. She reads quite a lot of YA and science fiction and fantasy as well. But she does like Victorian literature, and like me and Kate Howe, Melissa really loves Gaskell. She loves North and South. She also really likes Charles Dickens and she likes Oliver Twist. And what I really like about Melissa's channel is that she has a very mixed reading tastes, and but she approaches all books in the same way. It's going to sound slightly odd, but I feel like sometimes when people go into reading a classic, they feel like they have to approach it in a particular way that is kind of different to normal. So recently, like, Ariel Bissett made a review of Catcher in the Rye, which I thought was a really interesting review. I thought it was done really well, and she said at the beginning that she feels when she's going to review a classic, she feels like she has to talk about it differently, or that she has to add in details or context, or that she has to be sort of more analytical than she would about another book. And I think there is a feeling of that around classics. There is a feeling that you have to do something different to enjoy classics till you do contemporary literature, and I don't think that's true at all. Yes, I like Dickens because I think he has really interesting themes in writing and because it's kind of historically interesting and I like to analyse it, but actually also I just really like that his characters have silly names. And what I really like about Melissa is that she approaches classics in the same way she would approach a YA book, and she will fangirl over like Mr. Thornton in North and South in the same way that she would over a character in Cassandra Clare's Mortal Instruments. And I think that's wonderful because I think sometimes people forget that classics are there to be enjoyed, not just studied. And I love that Melissa has that love of certain characters in Victorian literature in the same way that I do. We have had many, many long discussions about the beauty of Mr. Thornton from North and South. Anyway, I also want to mention Caroline from BBC Girl. We buddy read Oliver Twist last month. It was the first reading for her and the second for me, and that was really, really interesting to do. Her channel always feels very casual and chatty, which I really enjoy, and she is currently working her way through Dickens chronologically. So she read the Pickwick Papers, then Nicholas Nickleby, Oliver Twist, and I am enjoying seeing how she goes, and I think that'll be a really, really interesting project to see how his writing changes over time. I did my dissertation on how his presentation of gender changes over time, so I'm really fascinated by the progression in Dickens from his early to his late novels, so I'm certainly interested to see how Caroline's project goes with that. She also wants to work her way chronologically through George Eliot. She's reading some Hardy at the moment, she wants to get some Trollope, and she loves Alice in Wonderland, so she loves a lot of Victorian literature, and I always really, really love listening to her chat about it, and we have had such fun buddy reading Oliver Twist, and I hope I will do many buddy reads with her in the future, because it was really, really interesting to chat to her about it. And next, on to 3 other booktubers who I'm going to call the Hardy trio. I discovered these 3 lovely ladies about the same time, and they all love Hardy and are currently buddy reading every month a different Hardy novel, and I've just started to join in with them, which I'm very, very excited about, because when I started watching their videos, I was listening to the 3 of them talk about how they were going to buddy read all of Hardy together, and I was like, I really want to do that, that sounds so fun. And then Alicia invited me to join, and I felt very pleased with myself. I am so excited, it's really good fun, and I love Hardy, so I'm keen to get more into him. So anyway, first, and from Beyond the Pages, her channel is very, very good. She has really wide taste in classics, and she likes Victorian literature. I think Ange has such insightful, interesting things to say, and she makes kind of a good mix of videos. I think they're really interesting, and of course always great to discover someone else who enjoys Victorian literature. Next, Yamini from The Skeptical Reader, another person who reads quite broadly, but a lot of Victorian literature, Hardy, Dickens, all of those people. She's very analytical, but also very clear in what she says, and I always really enjoy watching her videos. I think they're so interesting, and she just has so many things to say. Finally, Alicia from Ex-Libris is just one of my favourite booktubers now. As well as working her way through all of Hardy, she recently did a very, very brilliant Hardy author spotlight, and also an author spotlight on Dickens recently, both of which I really, really enjoyed. I will link those videos down below, because I thought they were very, very excellently done and just really interesting, and she's quite good at telling you where is a good place to start with a Victorian author and where might not be. We've also been chatting quite a lot on Voxer, and she's just a very lovely person. So yes, those are my 6 favourite people on BookTube who have wonderful things to say about Victorian literature. I highly, highly recommend that you go look at all of them if you're into Victorian literature and you want to see more booktubers talk about them. Maybe you have discovered them already, I don't know, but it took me quite a while to discover them, and I don't know how it took me quite so long. So yes, there we have it. That is the first of my shout out videos. I hope you will enjoy the rest of this little mini series going through the next month. Let me know down in the comments who your favourite booktubers are who talk about Victorian literature, and I will be sure to go and grab onto them and watch all of their videos with frantic excitement. I will see you very soon.